What's up, everybody? Welcome to Buzzworthy TV, and I'm the girl, Lady T. And today we are going to talk about love and hip hop Hollywood, y'all. So let's get into it. So I'm gonna do something a little different. I'm not gonna go blah blow. I'm going to talk about the insignificant stuff first, and then I'm gonna move on to this shit with Shonda, Kaisha, and Willie, okay? Because that was mostly what the episode was about, and I just want to get into that. But let's get the insignificant shit out the way first. Okay, Brandy and Max. Okay, look, I'm not one to talk about people's teeth or none of that. Like I said, soon as I get a hold to some decent money, I'm going to the orthodontist ASAP. So I don't got no room to talk, okay? But, dude, you sat up there and dropped off over like $25,000 in cash working on this EP. Just literally dropped it on the floor. Let your little son play with it like it's nothing, like it's Monopoly money, but you can't get your grill fixed. I'm confused. Inquire minds want to know. So, anyway, he sits up there, he's talking to Brandy because his whole thing is he blows money. I'm like, where? You constantly walking around like you need a haircut. Your grill is all jacked up. You don't wear no fly clothes. Your house is average. Where did you blow money? But okay. So he's telling Brandy, like, he blew a lot. He blows a lot of money, and that he want to put some money up for their child for school or whatever, for college. And so that's when he comes in and throws the $27,000 on the floor. And while the little boy playing with it, he lets Brandy know, like, hey, I want you to put this money up and start him an account. She says she's going to do it. We shall see. Okay. Now, we got Masika, Kalisa, Bawika, Masika, Dalita, whatever she want to call herself. But Masika is letting y'all know that she is back, bitches. Yes. Okay. So, she's back, and we already know what her storyline is. I mean, it played out all in the blogs, y'all. She is back because she has been dealing with Freddie Wap. Like, she recorded this song with Freddie Wap. It was a hit or whatever, and they started fucking around. And she got pregnant. Well, Freddie Wap ain't trying to hear this. He like that song. We not together, we just fucking around. So when she got pregnant, he wasn't here for it. So she goes to see a lawyer and talk about what she should do in terms of child support and whatnot. Because her whole thing is she been putting all the money up for doctors, getting the baby stuff together. Everything pertaining to the baby, she's been paying for, and she needs him to step up or whatever. Then we got Ray J and Princess. Okay? So Ray J and Princess, they're at their engagement party. And so Princess is still in her feelings because, Ray J brought up the whole thing about them signing a prenup. Now, here's the thing, and like I told y'all, I don't think Princess would have really had a problem with signing a prenup if Sony's song wouldn't have stuck her nose in it. Like, it's one thing for him to man up and say, hey, I think we should sit down and drop a prenup. But it's another thing when you come to me and say, well, my mom was telling me, that maybe it'd be a good idea if we, put together a prenup. Don't nobody want to hear that, especially somebody that's about to be your wife. Because we as women want to marry a man. We don't want to marry a mama's boy. So I think that's what it was. And I think that's why she stood firm on what she believed in about she wasn't going to sign no prenup. But on the other hand, we really got to think about this from Ray J's standpoint. Like, even though Sonya shouldn't have butted her nose in per se, I mean, on the flip side, she had the right to as his manager and as a concerned parent. Because, I mean, they got that Norwood money. We may make fun of Ray J, being Brandy's little brother. We may make fun of him for being famous, for putting out a sex tape. We may talk about how, he was only with Whitney just to, move up in the industry. We may talk about how he only have hit singles. He never had a hit album. One Wish was my shit. And wait a minute. Wait a minute. Y'all know that song he had with Lil' Kim. So, I'm saying this to say that he got money out here, okay? He got money, so he has every right to protect it. It was just that I think that the fact that the way he brought it up rubbed Princess the wrong way. But I'm going to need Princess to kind of get out her feelings and understand where Ray J is coming from. I mean, Princess, stop acting like you got your shit all together. I'm not saying that you broke, but come on now. We all know that you don't have that Norwood money. And we all know that you was out here being a video chick and messing with all sorts of celebrities for your come up. Not to say that you don't love Ray J, but hey, let's go ahead and handle this like adults. I mean, sign the prenup. It don't gotta be nothing. It don't have to be a situation where you don't get anything. It could be a situation where, hey, okay, if this marriage so happens to get dissolved, you get X amount of dollars. Or if we're married for 20 odd years, you get half or something like that. A prenup does not necessarily mean that you walk away with nothing. So, Princess, I'm going to need you to smarten up and get out your feelings. And Ray J, your dumb ass. Because, he sees that, she's in her feelings. And he sits up there and talks to Max, okay? Talks to Max. And Max tells him, like, man, when you bring up a prenup, excuse me, y'all, I'm a stickler about these eyebrows. When you bring up a prenup, that's a sign of distrust. And I'm like, Max, stay out of it. You do not have Norwood money. And number two, you can't misguide this young man because you weren't smart enough to get a prenup, okay? Because I think everybody should have a prenup. Just a little agreement. I mean, everybody work hard for what they got. So I don't think there's nothing wrong with anybody having a prenup. So because you wasn't smart enough to get a prenup and you don't know where your wife is, because come to find out, Brandy been telling Max that she been helping Princess with wedding plans, but Ray J tell Max like they ain't been planning shit. So just because you don't know what your wife be doing when you ain't looking and all that, and that you weren't smart enough to get a prenup, doesn't mean that Ray J shouldn't smarten up and get his ass a prenup. Okay? And so Ray J, he listens to that dumb advice, and when he makes his toast at the engagement party, he sits up there and tears up the prenup. And I'm like, dummy, dummy, dummy. And then let's get on to Brandy. I'm talking about Ray J's big sister. Brandy on here, and I'm like, but Brandy, what you doing on here? I thought when you first heard about Ray J being on Love and Hip Hop, you wasn't here for it, but now you're on the show. Anyway, she's checking up on Tierra Marie. This is before Ray J tore up the prenup. She checks on Tierra Marie, and not Tierra Marie. Oh my God! See, Ray J done fucked too many chicks on this show that I can't keep him straight, y'all. He done fucked like 3 chicks on the same show, but we'll get to that. So anyway, she goes and talks to Princess, and Princess tells Brandy like, I just feel as though, it wasn't your mom's place to encourage, Ray J to get a prenup. And Brandy's like, look, if you don't want a prenup, And if you don't like the way my mama brought it up or how she brought it to Ray J, speak up about it. If you don't think it's appropriate, let my mama know that it's not appropriate. And if you have a problem with the prenup, let Ray J know. And I'm like, Brandy. I get it. You know, be open and honest. If you feel uncomfortable, let people know. But stop acting like when you get married, you're not going to have a prenup. Okay? Stop faking it. And then, you know, after they get done talking, she was like, you know, I just really came over here to see, can I be a bridesmaid? And Princess is like, well, you know, I really don't have that many friends, and you're like a sister to me, so I want you to be my maid of honor. So Brandy gets an upgrade for this dumbass advice she gave her. Okay? So now she's been upgraded from bridesmaid to maid of honor. Whatever, however. Okay. So, let's see what else we got. We got Moniece and Tierra. Okay. So, Tierra and Moniece are talking. Tierra shows Moniece this interview that Princess did with, I believe, Jason Lee. And basically, she says that she's coming for Moniece because Moniece posts up on Instagram, talk about how, you know, her and Ray J had sex before him and Princess, and basically Moniece is like, hashtag I hit it first. So Princess gets offended by that. And I'm like, why you offended? That was before you even thought about Princess. And then number two, don't be mad because your man done fucked everybody under the sun. I mean, he fucked you, he fucked Tierra, he fucked Moniece. That was Ray J. You knew who he was. I mean, just like you ain't no saint, he wasn't no saint. I thought the most important thing was that y'all was moving forward. You know, y'all done calm down, y'all done stop drinking. Y'all on this, we about to get married, about to be on this faithful tip, so get over it. And Moniece, I understand, you know, since she called herself coming from you, and like you said, since you were invited, you about to go see her, and I don't blame you. I would go see her too. But remember, like, y'all don't really got no issues. Like, I don't even know where this all stems from. So maybe somebody could put this down in the comments. Like, what is the issue between Moniece and Princess that they about to be going at it? Like, they just throwing jabs at each other. I don't get it. Okay. So, let me see. Do I have everybody? Brandy and Max, yes. Masika, yes. Ray J and Princess, yes. Shonda. Okay. So, let's get to this bullshit with Shonda and Willie and Kaisha. Okay. Now, leave me alone. I always got to mess with my hair. So, we actually began their story from last week. It picks up from what we left off last week. So she asks Willie, Shonda asks Willie, like, basically, what have you been doing outside of our marriage? And he's like, man, what you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about. And, you know, she's like, well, this chick, Kaisha, came to the studio with receipts. With receipts, okay? With receipts. Talking about that you've been contacting her and all this other stuff. So she shows him the text messages, and he like, man, I tell all my fans that I love them, and yeah, that's me, but I don't know her, man. I don't know her. And so she's like, basically, okay, you don't know her. Well, I need to talk to both of y'all. We need to talk to her together. And he's like, man, go get her then. Go get her. Okay, so she gets up, and he sits there for a moment. I don't know if y'all noticed that, but he sits there for like a hot second. And then when he realizes that she is really going to go get Kaisha, he springs out of his chair, and he's running behind her as she walks up to Kaisha. And while she's walking up to Kaisha, he's like, yo. Whatever happens, I apologize in advance. And this is in layman's terms, look, motherfucker, I did not know that Mona Scott Young was gonna put me out on blast like this and bring the chick to the damn studio. You could tell that he was caught totally off guard. And that's that Mona Scott shit for your ass. Okay, Willie? That's that Mona Scott Young for you. Okay? Y'all gonna settle this shit today, okay? You thought you was gonna be on the low? No, sir. So he like, I apologize in advance because he know he done got caught straight the fuck up, okay? So then when they approach old girl, Kaisha, she's just going all in. She's talking about, we've been messing with each other off and on for 10 years, and I still love you, and, I'm not going to be sitting up here. Basically, she's just tired of being the side chick, but you knew you was the side chick when you knew this nigga was married. Like, come on now. So anyway, she's like, what about the baby and this and that? And he like, man, I don't even know you. He was like, I say I love all my fans. Like, basically, he like, so what you doing? You just had to get some attention. So it's like, what is it? 1 minute you don't know her, then the next minute, so this what we doing now? This what you doing for attention? I'm like, Willie, get it together because you're caught, son. You're caught. So after that, Willie and Shonda, later that evening, they laying up in the bed and whatnot. And they still talking. And basically, he's lying again. He's coming up with the most ridiculous lies. Like, he's saying that basically what happened was, she contacted me and let me know that her mama passed or whatever. And I was like, if you need me for anything, just let me know. And I'm like, what the hell does that got to do with you sending dick pics to her? What that got to do with you showing dick pics? Inquiring minds want to know, okay? I'm confused. So, that's your excuse? So, anyway, he keep coming up with these ridiculous, excuses. And basically, she just wanted to let Willie know, like, look, we all going to sit up here and we all going to talk. So, me, you, and her, we're going to have a sit-down conversation. And after that, she goes and sits down with Brandy and Nikki. And she lets them know what's going on with her and Willie. And basically, Nikki and Brandy are like, look, if you don't really think that's him, or if you really don't think that, that he did all this stuff that Kaisha's claiming that he's doing, then you definitely should sit down and talk to both of them and figure this whole thing out. So she was like, yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So, she feels good about her little sit down that they got planned. So, they finally sit down. Willie and Shonda finally sit down with Kaisha. And basically, Kaisha is just like, look, I said what I said. We've been messing around. I don't know what he's been telling you. And Shonda's like, okay, so what are you talking about a baby? She was like, look, back when you was pregnant with y'all son, I was pregnant too, but I was distraught and stressed out, and I lost the baby. And I want to say, did we have a repeat of Jocelyn Hernandez season 1? Is that what happened to the baby? Inquiring minds want to know. So then they get to talking, and next thing you know, she started talking about they were still fucking to the point where, when Shonda was in LA, I think like she said December. She said December of 2015, while Shonda was in LA, she was fucking Willie at the Red Roof Inn in Chicago. And I said, Willie. You couldn't do no better than the Red Roof Inn. You can't do no better than the Red Roof Inn. You can't afford to have a side chick if you can't do no better than the Red Roof Inn. And Kaisha, That does not say much about you if you're going to let him screw you in a Red Roof Inn, okay? That is where the lowest of the low go. Like, you find all sorts of things up in there. All sorts of... You better be lucky y'all didn't come out there with some STDs, okay? That's all I gotta say. Like, a Red Roof Inn... Anyway, y'all, I was too through with this whole thing with Shonda and Kaisha and Willie because, like I said, they just going back and forth, comparing notes, and then all of a sudden, Kaisha called Shonda a bitch, and next thing you know, they start going in on each other, like just scrapping. But no one threw drinks, so for the first time in Love and Hip Hop history, no drinks were sacrificed for the sake of this episode, okay? So y'all, let me know what y'all think about this episode. What do y'all think about Shonda, Willie, and Kaisha? Willie, you need to stop lying. Number one, you're not a good liar. And number two, Negro, you've been caught, okay? Just own up to it, okay? What y'all think about Princess and Ray J? I say, Ray J, you need to go ahead and listen to your mama. Sorry, listen to Sony's song. And what else? Masika, I'm glad you're back, girl. Just get it together. All right, y'all. Let me know what y'all think about this episode. Till next time, y'all. Peace and love.